Great morning, everyone. I hope everyone's having a fabulous Sunday. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Thank you for all the comments for my dancing yesterday. Just fun. Dance through life, enjoy it. Great exercise, just get out, and whatever kind of dance you're doing, enjoy it, Oh, anyway, tomorrow's Halloween, so it's coming up. I had a viewer ask me to do a reading on Joe Biden, saying that they heard from, I don't know, some psychic or reader. I have no idea where they got this from because I'd never heard of the person they were talking about, that said Joe Biden is going to, he's going to quit after the midterms. He's going to resign. Well, yeah, no, I don't need to read on that. I don't need to pull cards because absolutely, let's take the pendulum, but I guarantee it's going to say no. Guarantee it's going to say no. So let's get, okay. Is Biden going to resign after the midterms? Is Biden going to resign after midterms? Is Biden going to resign after midterms? No. No. So, yeah, I don't know where they're getting that from. But no, not going to resign after midterms. So now that's settled. Oh my goodness. Now, have you ever done a genealogy search and you found something you wish you'd never found? Oh my goodness. Something hit me when I was doing my search and things. And, like I said, the family I came from, I went through some, abusive stuff as a child growing up. And then, as I was doing the research, something I had never thought about growing up, my parents never celebrated a wedding anniversary. Never. And I'm just sitting there going, well, that's odd. I came across a thing on the internet, and you have these couples that are putting up about their anniversary and they're having their, whatever wedding anniversary. My parents never celebrated the wedding anniversary. So I was going through the things, and found out my father's father, my great-grandfather, came over from Germany. So that, was the end of that research. My mother's family, Paxtons, were here for, again, many generations, going back to Samuel A. And then they came from, most of them came leaving from Ireland, but they are English, Scots English from that area, Paxtons, okay? So was able to trace them back. Now, it was not easy because there, how many John Paxtons there are? It was like, But I was able to finally trace it back. But anyway, what I found out that was so disturbing, it had like my birth records, and then it had a census for the year I was born. And on the census, on my mother's census, it said, oh, she's been married 2 years and she's got 1 child. Okay. Well, on my birth certificate, there's a weird thing too. On there, it was like that already had 1 child. So I'm looking at this going, I was always wondering about the birth certificate. That was kind of weird. And then on the census, come to my father's thing, and it says never married. My mother's married 2 years, my father's never married, okay? And I'm looking up marriage certificates. Now my father, I have a half-sister. My half-sister has flaming red hair. I met her once. And I don't remember him ever sending a birthday card, Christmas thing, nothing, ever. Okay? And I saw her once in my life. So I'm looking at this stuff going, trying to, put it all together in my mind. So it's surprising, but again, it's not surprising. Knowing my father, I'm not surprised. I don't think they were married. I don't think they ever got married. Because like I said on my father's census, never married. Now, that goes in alignment with his personality, I have to say, because he has a real distrust of women, okay? Like I said, I went through a lot of abuse growing up. It was like, why were you born? Never wanted you type. He actually said that to me once. Yeah. My father, we couldn't have friends. We couldn't go out of the house. He was very, you'd have to see. I think he really kind of maybe had a narcissistic bent in personality, looking back on it. Because my father was an entertainer, okay, from a young age, had made records and, had radio shows, recorded for Columbia Records, etc. And, kind of maybe in a way full of himself. But anyway, it looks like I'm wondering if in his travels, because he would perform at Hershey Park in my mother's from York, Pennsylvania, and he would, they would play at Hershey Park, his band. So I'm wondering if my mother had gotten pulled into his web and had gotten pregnant. I'm wondering that, unanswered questions. And they never talked about dating. My mother never said. Now, I saw one picture of her when she was about maybe 16, 17. She was built. she was gorgeous. She was built. Unfortunately, I look more like my father's side of the family. But that's another thing entirely. But yeah, she was really pretty when she was young. And I did find out her mother had died at a pretty young age when I finally found out the information. My grandmother's name was Grace Elizabeth. Gracie Elizabeth, and I found her death certificate. She had died of stomach cancer. So, and then her father got remarried, so she'd had a, stepmother, which she wasn't thrilled with, and had a stepbrother that was born. So, you get into these things and things come out, these things out of the closet that were hidden there, and again, looking back at it, they never, ever celebrated a wedding anniversary. And that's odd in itself. And then you find the census record where she said she was married 2 years, I guess to save her, in her mind, she's married to this guy. And his thing is never married. Okay. Now, again, it's surprising, but in another way, not surprising. I never called my father daddy. He was never daddy. He was father. Okay. Very distant, very, he never once had a compliment, anything nice to say, ever in his life. Never once was, it was the way he was. So in a way, now I'm not bemoaning my stuff, don't get me wrong, because I see it later as a left-handed blessing in a way, because it started my search on the spiritual path at a young age, because I had no what do you want to call it? No support from my family. They weren't supportive. My mother wasn't supportive. My father wasn't supportive at all, ever. So, and when my mother passed, she had some sort of a heart defect. I was already moved out of the house for a while. The minute I turned 18, I left because it was just, I'm sorry, I don't like abusive environments, okay? So I moved out when I was 18, and my father called and said, your mother's dying, I think she's dead. It was, I got in the car, I was living in San Francisco, and I flew down there, and to tell you how fast I went, I got there and the paramedics were just leaving with my mother, okay? That's how fast I was driving. I got down there in record speed, flew down there, and we get to the hospital and the doctor comes out and he goes, I'm sorry, there was nothing we could do. We tried to revive her, but she was already gone. Well, what's my father do? The minute he gets home, he gets rid of everything she has in the house. That same day, the minute we get back from the hospital, he is angry, like she left him, like she did it on purpose, then he blamed me. It was my fault that she died. It's all my fault. It's my fault. I'm not there. I had nothing to do. But, that was the what I lived in. Whatever it was, I was the black sheep. Whatever it was, it's my fault. Nothing to do with me, but my fault. Okay? Yeah. So it was just craziness. But again, who does that? The minute your spouse dies, you come home from the hospital, and that day, you get rid of everything they own out of the house. So, yeah, the craziness. So the point of it being, sometimes you uncover something and it's really, in a way, shocking. But then you look back on it and you go, they never ever celebrated a wedding anniversary. And then you find a census where your father's saying, no, I've never been married. Not married, never married. And you're just going, oh my God. And you're looking up the wedding certificates, everything. Nothing to be found. Okay? And the only thing my mother ever said was, my father had a nervous breakdown. He went off and was actually hospitalized because his first wife, which he was never married to, the woman he was with, he came home and found her in bed with another man. And he went crazy. I mean, literally went off his trolley. The cheese slid off that cracker. Okay? And he had come from a place of, his mother was abusive, I guess sexually abusive to one of the sons, to his other brother. I think it was his youngest brother or something. So he had no, he did not like women to begin with. And then his sister was an alcoholic, and she was going with every man that there was, she was out there with it. So he just had this mental hatred for women, okay? Didn't trust them. We were all condemned before anything, and yeah, he never married my mother. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, he was to the point of, graduating high school. Most families are really happy and they want to go to your celebration, you're graduating. He was like, why are you graduating? It's stupid. He didn't even want me to graduate, to be able to have the cap and gown and graduate with my class. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, in a way it was a left-handed blessing because I didn't have any kind of support system with my family growing up. We never had, the only thing we ever had people over to house was Thanksgiving. One of my uncles would come over with his family and we would have Thanksgiving together, and that's it. Otherwise, never, ever, ever. Nothing. The whole time growing up. I wasn't allowed to have friends come over. I wasn't allowed to go out. It was really that kind of growing up. We were always moving. Maybe that's why I identify in some ways with the gypsy community, because it was kind of, maybe I kind of had that life growing up. We always moved. My father was a musician. I went to so many different schools in 1 year. Numerous schools in 1 year. We moved 3-4 times in a year. It was only when I got to high school that I finally had a number of years in one school, okay? So yeah, but other than that, we moved all the time. And just a bit of craziness. So anyway, like I said, it's a left-handed blessing because it started my search early on. And you see that the things that are perpetrated, it's because not something that you've done, it is something that they have not handled in their life. And so they look for a target. They want to project their ills and their drama onto someone else. So, when you can see that clearly, that it really has nothing to do with you, it has to do with their own failings in life, things that they are mentally in this craziness about, then you can develop compassion and you can let go of it and be freed up from this maybe labels or something that you put on yourself. So, if you have that kind of a background, you can either, many times what people do is they fight against it, or they just give in to it and say, well, if that's what you think of me, then that's what I'm going to be. Okay? And, yeah. So neither of those is going to serve one really well, because if you're fighting against it, then you're in a way, some way, accepting of it. Okay? So just look deeper. That's all I say. In your life, look deeper and question these things. But yeah, here I am, 72, and I just found out my parents were never married. And like I said, in a way it's shocking, and in a way it's not. Knowing how he was, of his, in a way, hatred of women, distrust. And yet, he thought my mother was wonderful, okay? He just thought she was fabulous, but yet, underneath of it all, was this distrust. She wasn't allowed to have friends, wasn't allowed to go out, wasn't allowed to, just, the craziness of families and things that we grow up with. Anyway, don't know why this rant came up today, but it most surely did. But yeah, sometimes in life, all of a sudden something pops up that just really just smacks you out of the blue, and you're going, what in the world was this about? Same thing when I look at my birth certificate and I see that there was one other child. I'm wondering at this point, seeing the rest of this, was there another child birthed out of, well, I was out of wedlock, obviously. My brother was, I was, was there another child? And what happened with it? Do I have another half sibling out there somewhere? Or was there an abortion? Was there, no idea. No idea. I just know I have a half sister out there with flaming red hair. Who wound up marrying, I think she married a Scotsman because her last name is now, it just went out. But it's a Scottish name, very Scottish. So I'm wondering if she didn't marry a Scotsman. Anyway, with her flaming red hair. So thanks for tuning in. Enough of my craziness of background. And like I said, you can overcome anything, Just let it be, rather than succumbing to it and, oh, woe is me. Use it as a platform to move forward in your life. Use it as a way to sit and question and look deeper at what it is rather than bemoaning your fate or, whatever that's going on with that. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, and happy Halloween to everyone. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. I got some more things yesterday. I'm going to go work on the van this morning. And I can't wait to share it with you when it's done. It's coming along. And I'm just, I hope you enjoy it when I get to finally reveal the new interior, new decorations of my van. So thanks for tuning in, and have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous day. And I'll see you online. I'm going to enjoy some more coffee and get ready for my day in my fun, flamboyant, as usual, flamboyance. I got these skirts. Before we go, I got these skirts. Let's stand up and show you. On Amazon. And they are fabulous. Look at this. They're great for dancing. These are great for dancing. 3 of them for $40. Now, you don't know what you're going to get with them. You don't get to pick the patterns, the colors. I got 3 of them, and I just ordered another set. It's like, it's like the grab bag of fabulousness. Now, I like these. They're very lightweight, very colorful, lightweight, but you do have to wear a slip underneath of them because a number of the ones that they're putting on here are very, I don't know if I can, they're sheer. Some of the layers that they're doing with these are sheer. When you get in the sunlight, if you don't have a slip on, it's going to be revealing things. I'm just saying. So, if you get these, you might want to wear a slip underneath of it. But really, these are lovely. And you can't beat it. 3 of them for $40. I mean, that's craziness. So I got a number of these and a number of these types of tops in various colors, very comfortable. And I've been waiting to reveal these things until after my Halloween extravaganza that we had the other day of funness. And what do you think of the tarot room? The new, that's why I've been doing the tarot reads in the dining area, because I was working on it and I didn't want to reveal it before our Halloween show, okay? So anyway, now you've seen it. Now I can go back and do my readings in the tarot room again. And so absolutely enjoying it, and enjoying my fun skirts that I got. I'll be doing some more dancing. I love that type of dancing. I mean, somebody asked me if I do belly dancing. Oh, God, no. No. No, I don't do belly dancing. And just getting into this type of, these, what do you call it? I just say gypsy style of the dancing. And I love it, It's very loose, very freeing. It's all done, it's not you're doing a routine or something. You just go with the fly with the music. And so a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that a lot. And dance. Enjoy it. We're meant to be here and have experiences. So, enjoy it. Make some enjoyable experiences. You can always put on music and dance. always. Okay? So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you online. Oh my goodness.